Did you know that the original parol had nothing to do with Christmas nor Christianity? Mabuhay, or in Kapampangan, luwid kayo. Today's question comes from the Golden State. Maya from California asked, where did the parol come from? For those who may not know, for folks who may not know, a parol is a traditional Filipino Christmas lantern. It's a beautiful symbol of the colorful Christmas traditions in the Philippines. The word parol itself comes from the Spanish word farol, meaning lantern. And recently, the newly crowned Miss Universe 2018, Catriona Gray, wore a parol as part of her eye-catching national costume. Now, throughout the decades, the colorful parols of the Philippines have become vibrant symbols not just of our long Christmas celebrations and traditions, but also of our people's vibrant talents and ingenuity. And as a Kapampangan myself, I take pride in our parol. I can still remember the first time I made my very first parol as a little kid from scratch back in the motherland. It was a 5-pointed star parol that I made with bamboo sticks and papel de hapon, or this really thin, almost translucent paper. Yes, I can still remember clearly making this parol because I got a splinter. Anyways, if you ask Filipinos today, the 5-pointed star shape of the parol represents the Star of Bethlehem, star that guided the 3 wise men or the 3 kings to where Jesus was born. And it is believed to symbolize the triumph or the victory of light over darkness. It is commonly accepted and officially recorded in history that the original parol was crafted back in 1908 by a Kapampangan artist named Francisco Estanislao. It was made with bamboo, papel de hapon, and was lit from within using candles. And when electricity became widely available in the 1930s, the Kapampangan Christmas parol evolved yet again into these vibrantly dancing lights that we are familiar with today. But this official history is somewhat incomplete. Today, the city of San Fernando, Pampanga is known globally as the Christmas capital of the Philippines because of its parol making industry and because of its giant lantern festival, or as we say in Kapampangan, Ligligan Parol. Now this tradition, this festival, has been going on for more than a century, with the first one happening sometime between 1904 or 1908. And throughout the decades, it has become one of the top Christmas destinations in the Philippines. And this famous Ligligan Parol of San Fernando can actually trace its roots all the way back to a much simpler and much older traditions in the much older town of Bacolor. Known as the Lubenas, it's a tradition that actually predates the official history of the parol. Lubenas is an old Kapampangan tradition of a 9-day prayer procession using beautiful lanterns to light the way. In fact, in my own hometown of Angeles City, we have our own Lubenas ng Pasko tradition, a tradition that has been going on for 2 centuries, a tradition that has never stopped since the year 1830. So parols are definitely way older than what is commonly believed. And if we dig deeper and look beyond the colonial miseducation of our people, you'll see that the roots of parol goes way back, way deeper to before the advent of Christianity in the Philippines. According to Kapampangan elders and scholars, the spiritual traditions of using lanterns to light the way or to light the path in darkness is way older than the conversion of Kapampangans into Christianity. It goes all the way back to the pre-colonial traditions of Daun, or offerings to the dead, where lanterns were also used to light the path in darkness to guide the spirits of our ancestors. The Kapampangan parol or lantern has long been used in festive occasions and spiritual traditions. It also shares similarities and connections with other lantern traditions across Asia, from Indonesia to Japan, from Thailand to India and China. Older traditional Kapampangan parols also come in different shapes and sizes, not just the 5-pointed stars. Some stars had 7 to 8 points, some were square, while others were rounded, and they were heavily decorated with dangling ornamental tails known in Kapampangan as bito-bito or iki-iki. In my own hometown of Angeles City, our traditional parols are also intricately designed with meticulously handmade lace patterns and are also well known for their very unique shapes, such as fish to symbolize prosperity, doves for peace, and lambs for forgiveness and humility. Back in the day, parols were actually not for sale. Traditionally, parols were made at home by Kapampangan families gathering together, gathering in a circle watching their elders make their family's parol. Now I know what you're thinking. If parol is much older than Christianity and Spanish colonialism, why does the word parol come from the Spanish word farol? Isn't there a much more indigenous English term for parol? Yes, there is. There's actually a lot of terms in Kapampangan to refer to lanterns or parol, such as sulugi, sumbu, sulu, or paritan. Now I could go on and on and on all day talking about parols if you want me to, but for now, it is important to know and understand that parols are more than just decorations, more than just dancing lights. A parol can bring families and entire communities together in celebration. Parols have a long history of culture and spirituality for us Kapampangan. Colorful traditions that predates the so-called discovery of the Philippines. Deeply rooted traditions that has evolved throughout centuries of colonialism and continues to survive to this day. And that is it for me today. If you like this video and learn a thing or two, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to help me make more videos like this, show your support and please be my patron or get a copy of my book, Dakalpung Salamat. See you next time, where in Tagalog kita kits and in Kapampangan, Mikitix.